Good evening, world. It's Ivan Mayer again. It's 8:20 in the evening, so I'll make a short video. I'll make a good 50-minute video like I did yesterday. Ivan, why'd you sleep in so late? Yeah, I was tired, so I set my alarm for 6 o'clock, but I slept in for another 2 hours because I was really tired, and yeah. So this video will be short. It'll be a quick 50-minute video. After this video, I will take my shower, go to the store, and get a Butte and Smokes. Come back and enjoy the show. My order arrived. I ordered that book by Ian Nathan, I believe. It's called Anything You Can Imagine. The Makings of Middle Earth, Peter Jackson. This is pretty much the biography of Peter Jackson, how he created the billion dollar empire. When he was young, he wanted to be a kid. He has cast interviews in the book. Talk about Peter Jackson's journey of creating Lord of the Rings, how he wrote the script, all that stuff. The process of him writing the script, you know what I'm saying, behind the scenes, everything. I recommend you guys pick up that book. All you Lord of the Rings, there's Lord of the Rings read it, who love Peter Jackson, I recommend you guys pick up that book. Anything you can imagine by Ian Nathan, I believe. Just say anything you can imagine Peter Jackson, you'll see the book on Amazon. Obviously. But Amazon might run out of stock, so order quick, obviously, right? Yeah. Looks like an amazing book. I'll read a bit of the book tonight, check it out, check it out, obviously. Alright, yeah, tonight I'm going to read a good maybe 10 pages of the book. 10, 15 pages. Obviously. Now what? Oh, you're excited to read the book? Yeah, I'm excited to read the book. It's a biography of how Peter Jackson created that billion dollar empire. Interesting, obviously. I recommend you guys pick up that book. Buy it on Amazon or buy it at a big bookstore. It's probably in America, you'll probably find it in a Barnes and Noble store. A big bookstore, you'll probably be able to find the book. In Europe and Canada and America, but or you can order it on Amazon, a Kindle version or the print. Obviously, obviously, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed my last video I made early in the morning. Yeah, I mean, that was a sick video. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Obviously, I talked about my Zanus story and I talked about Peter Jackson and what Peter Jackson and the process of pre-production for my Zanus movie. I'll have Peter and Mel Gibson compete for the job. Whoever is chosen, that's the director I'll hire for my Zanus movie, obviously. So Peter's chosen, he's lucky. If Mel Gibson's chosen, he's lucky. They already know if they're chosen or not. They can see the future. Peter knows if I'll choose him. Mel Gibson knows if I'll choose him. They can see the future. I have the keys. But even then, they're still going to compete for the job, obviously, because they want to work with me so bad, obviously. They want to be saved. They don't want to be left behind. They want to be saved. They want to be. They don't want to be left behind. So that's why those two directors are gonna beg their ass off. They're gonna beg their asses off. Going crazy. They're gonna beg their asses off. Yeah. So make sure these guys don't rip you off. I'm gonna have a conditional deal for my two Switch developers as well as Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson. That way they don't rip me off. Movie grosses more, I'm paying you less. I'll pay you 0.4% if the movie grosses more, and 0.6 if the movie does less. Obviously, if the movie does 176 billion or less, you get 0.6 per year. You'll make your 300, 280, 270 dollars, whatever it is. If it does more, you get 0.4. Peter Jackson will make his 250 to 330 million dollars in royalties. So Peter Jackson signed like his 350 to like $400 million deal, $430 million deal around there. He'll make about like 250 million in royalties to like 330 million dollars in royalties. Depends how much the movie does. The movie grosses less than the 176 billion. Peter Jackson will make like 200 something in royalties. I don't know, 280 maybe in royalties. Still sign a fat contract, more than how much he made for Lord of the Rings. Peter Jackson signed his massive like 350 to 400 million dollars for my movie. It's a good deal for Peter Jackson. He'll work hard for me because he knows he's gonna strike it rich. He's gonna make his what, like I don't know, 200 million, 180 million dollars after taxes and the agent. He knows he's gonna strike it rich. That's more than how much he made for Lord of the Rings. He probably made like 95 million, 100 million. Peter Jackson made around there. He made $180 million for Lord of the Rings in American money, obviously, which is like I don't know, 200 million, 205 in New Zealand money. His agent took 10% of that, so Peter Jackson made like $100 million for Lord of the Rings after taxes and his agent. Obviously, so after Peter Jackson did Lord of the Rings, he struck it rich. He became a rich like millionaire. He had tens of millions in his bank. He became wealthy, obviously. Why was Peter Jackson rich when he filmed Lord of the Rings? He was probably worth maybe a couple $1 million. He wasn't that rich. You know what I'm saying? But he got his nice $10 million while he was filming the movie, obviously. And after the movie came out, that's when he struck it rich. He became wealthy, obviously. Obviously. Yeah. That is my deal for Peter Jackson. That is my deal for Peter Jackson. He's going to help me co-write the script. Obviously, the concert arts. The script, the concert arts. Obviously. Obviously, co-write the script. Taking his notes. Consulting with 17 sometimes. Help me with the main 7 business calls. Obviously. Yeah. That's it. That's all he has to do when he gets $10 million. Nice paycheck for Peter Jackson. That's why he'll work hard. He'll work really hard during pre-production because he's making more money than how much he made for Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, he got $10 million for the whole movie project, around there, right? Whereas I'm paying him $10 million for pre-production alone. Pre-production alone, he'll work hard. He got his $10 million for 3 years of pre-production. Millions in his bank. He'll work hard. The third year, when he's overseeing everything in Switzerland with the 17 and the other assistant directors, he'll work hard because he got millions in his bank, obviously. Yeah, I even maybe $10 million has millions on my bank for 3 years of work. For 3 years of work, he'll work hard because he got a lot of money in his bank. $6 million is more enough to last him for a couple of years. He'll blow probably maybe $1 million of that, $1.5 million of his money maybe during those 3 years. He's got a fat check in the bank, yeah. He'll work hard because he made a lot of money. He'll work hard. Hi, you sound tired. Yeah, I just woke up, man. But I brewed some coffee upstairs, so in a good, like, I don't know, 15 minutes from now, in a good 5 minutes from now, I'll go upstairs and get my coffee. The coffee will help keep me awake during the video. The coffee will help keep me awake during this video, obviously, because I'm a little bit sloppy today. I'm a little tired. And so I'm only going to make a 50-minute video. 50-minute video I'll make. Yeah, talk for 20 minutes in this video, talk for 20 minutes in my next video, and I'll end the video here. So I'm going to talk about the Sharks, man. Do not let Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni dupe you. My deal for Jon Favreau, the movie grosses more than this amount, you get 0.1. If the movie grows this or less, you get 0.2. The way Jon is going to be off. Because I don't want Jon walking away with $150, $167 million of my money. No, man, he's being too generous. I don't mind him walking away with his 90, 80, 100, 108, 105 million. But the moment he's walking away with 120, 30, 40, 50, 60, 200, you're being way too generous. Jon Favreau's ripping you off. I'm saying same goes for Dave Filoni. I'll give him 0.1% of the pie. If the movie does this, if 1.1 billion people or less buy a movie, if more buy it, you get less. You get 0.07. You'll still make his $38 million in royalties. The way you keep Jon Favreau and Filoni in check, and you don't overpay them, and they don't rip you off. You see what I'm saying? But if the movie does, let's say, like $200 billion in sales, for Zayas, obviously, I don't know, 1.3 billion people bought it, 1.4 billion people bought it, and you give Dave Filoni 0.1%, he's walking away with what? Like $70 million back. That's too much, man. You're being way too generous with Dave. And Jon is walking away with like 150 million. You're being way too generous. 200 million, you're being way too generous. Keep Jon Favreau around that 55 to 100 million range. You keep Dave Filoni around that 30 to like 50 million range. Around there. That way they don't rip you off, obviously. Dave Filoni will most likely be making on average around that $40 million range from our movies and royalties. And Jon Favreau will make between his like 50, 60 million to like $100 million, depending on how much the movie grosses. The movie does more, he gets 1.1, he'll get like maybe 60, 55, 70 million royalties on average. Whereas $100 million is probably a bit more rare because I'm giving him 0.1 if the movie does more. High chance the movie will do more, hence I'm going to give him 0.1. He'll make his like 66 million on average, Jon Favreau. So it's a lot of money. Still sign a fat contract. That money that CEOs will make in Hollywood. So there. You get your $15 million for the 4 years of Zayas. You get your $100 million in roll. For Zayas, he'll make his 100 million. I did the math. Even if a billion people buy a movie, he'll still make his $100 million. If I give him 0.2. If the movie does more, he'll still make his 80, 90, $100 million Jon Favreau. He's going to strike it rich. Whereas all my other movies, if the movie does more, he'll make on average about $60 million, Jon Favreau. Around there, 70 million. And then Dave Filoni will make like his 50, 40 million, 38 million. That way you keep Jon and Dave in check and they don't rip you off. And Jon Favreau might get angry. Ivan, why are you making such a big deal out of $50 million, Ivan? Who cares if I walk away with $150 million, Ivan? I'm like, Jon, if you think I'm going to let you walk away with $150 of my money, you're fucking crazy. As you would never even give me a piece of the royalties to do in my shoes. And I'm nice to give you a piece of the royalties. Yeah, you're right, Ivan. Yes, if you guys were in my shoes, you wouldn't even give these actors a piece of the royalties. Yeah, I'd not take the whole 70%. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm nice to give you a piece of my royalties. Hence why what? Hence why accept my deal or you're more than welcome to work in Mandalorian with all my offer. I'm being left behind in Hollywood. I'm going to keep saying this. Yeah. Do not let what? The Hollywood animals dupe you, man. You see what I'm saying? But guaranteed Dave Filoni might tell you, like, why are you making such a big deal out of 0.1%? You know, who cares if I make $7 million? I'm like, Dave, I'm not going to let you walk away with $7 million of my money. You're crazy. I want to keep you around that 50, 40, $30 million range. If the movie does more, you get 0.07. You'll still make your nice 37 million, 40 million royalties. Obviously. And you guys don't have to worry about the rates. Since you get your full Canadian money, even if you get $38, $4 million in royalties, that's like $24 million in your bank. So you're $35 million richer after filming Zayas. You sign a fat contract. Money that CEOs in Hollywood don't even make, Dave. See what I'm saying? The CEOs make more than Dave for their bonuses and his yearly salary, but for the royalties I'm paying Dave, I'm paying him more than how much even CEOs make. CEOs make like $14, $20 million bonuses in Hollywood. Yeah, Dave Filoni got a $40 million royalty check. He's making a lot of money. And John got like $100 million in royalties for Zanus. $80, $90 million in royalties for Zanus. It's a good deal. If you don't like my offer, you're more than welcome to work in Hollywood on my offer, obviously. If they get angry, I'm like, guys, you're not even worth my fucking royalties. Why are you even getting angry about how much money I'm willing to pay you? You're not even worth my royalties, guys. I'm just nice to give you a piece of the pie. You see what I'm saying? If you don't like my offer, I can terminate the royalty deal and I can just pay you your flat salary and your yearly salary. You'll make less money. You still make your millions, but you'll make less money. If you don't like my offer, I have an instant deal. Yes, I'm giving you a good deal. Obviously. Because Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are sharks, some of them might get angry. I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, why is it such a big deal to you? If the movie, like, we should be getting paid more money if the movie grosses more. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna let you do it like that. I'm not gonna let you walk away with $70, $150 of my money. That's crazy. No. Have you what? Make all that money that easy? No, man. Like, I'll keep you around that 40, that 30 to 50 range, Dave. And John, I'll keep him around that 60, 55 to like 100 million range. That way they don't rip you off. They don't dupe you, man. Trust me, if your movie does a lot and John takes home 0.2, he's gonna take home what? Like 100, like 50 million, 60, 70 million dollars of your money, man. You're being way, way too generous. As pro sport athletes and Hollywood actors don't make that kind of money. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Pro sport athletes don't even make that kind of money, guys. Most of them, anyways, right? Yeah, pro sport athletes don't even make that kind of money. The Hollywood celebrities don't make that kind of money. The Amazon CEOs and CEOs in Hollywood don't make that kind of money. That's crazy. Hence why keep John in check. Keep him around that 55, 60 to 100 in our range. That way he doesn't rip you off. You gotta be strict. You gotta be strict with Peter Jackson too. As if the movie does more than 176 billion or more than 1.1 billion movie, you pay Peter 0.4. So you keep him in check and he doesn't rip you off. There's nothing worse than the movie doing 240 billion for Zayas and Peter Jackson walks away with like $400 million in royalties. That's crazy. You're being too generous. He made $500 million. That's too much. Keep Peter around that 300, 320, 330, 250. You know what I'm saying? 250 range, 250 million range for the royalties. The way he doesn't rip you off. You know what I'm saying? Peter might get angry because he's a greedy pig, obviously. Because Peter Jackson's big, man. He's a greedy shark. He might be like, Ivan, like, why are you making such a big deal out of what? Out of my 0.6% of my movie grosses more. If my movie grosses more, you should be paying more money, Ivan. Like, no, Peter, I'm not going to do like that. I'm not going to do like that. If the movie grosses more, I'm paying you less. You get 0.4. You'll still make your 250, 260, 280, $300 million in royalties. I'm saying you might get his agent might get mad, and I'm saying I'm like Peter, if this is not good enough for you, if $250 million in royalties with your $107 million salary, you're still gonna make your $350 million for my movie, or your $300 million in royalties not good enough for you, and you're greedy and you want, yeah, even though $250 million is a lot of money, and $300 million is a lot of money, I'm fucking greedy. I want a bigger chunk of that pie. Yeah, he's greedy, Peter, because Peter knows. I'm like, you and your wife are gonna make your fucking billions off your movie. You're gonna make your you're gonna make your like $62 billion off your Zane's movie. And another like $55 million off your merch. Like, why are you making such a big deal out of me taking home $500 million? I'm like, Peter, if you were in my shoes, you wouldn't even give me a piece of the royalties. Yeah, I mean, you're right. If I was in your shoes, if you were in my shoes, you wouldn't give me a piece of the royalties. Yeah, I'm nice to give you a small piece of the pie. This is a good enough deal. If you make your 250, 280, 300, but if the movie does more and you make your 280, 300, 270 million dollars, you still made more money than we made for Lord of the Rings. You're still gonna make your 300 plus million dollars. You're gonna walk away with what, like $160 million over taxes in your agent. You walk away with a fat check in the bank. I gave you a good deal. If you don't like my offer, you're more than welcome to work in Hobby and say, I it's a deal. Yeah, you accept my deal, obviously. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna get a cup of coffee. You can skip the video if you don't want to wait. sorry for the long wait. You guys had to wait a good, what, I don't know, 3 minutes? So I recommend you guys skip the video when you watch it. That's what I do. Whenever I always leave my room and I get coffee, I just skip the video. Skip it a good 2 minutes, minute and a half, 3 minutes around there. I should be arriving back in my room talking to you guys. Obviously. So I got my coffee. I'm a little bit more awake now. After this video, I will take my shower, get my beer, my smokes, and I'm gonna read some of that Middle Earth book, that the book by Ian Nathan, I believe, the biography of Peter Jackson's life, his journey of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, him writing the script, interviewing the actors. He interviews the actors. He interviews of the process of the movie. It's like a 500-page novel. Obviously, yeah. Obviously, Ivan, who you choose, Mel Gibson or Peter Jackson? I don't know. But something tells me I might choose Peter, perhaps, because he did Lord of the Rings, and he knows all the Lord of the Rings crewmen very well. He knows all those guys. He knows Weta Digital. He owned the company, man. Peter Jackson owned stake in Weta Digital and Weta Workshop, and he sold it for like $500 million, something like that. $600 million deal, whatever he signed. He sold his company to another company, obviously. He knows all the guys, right? That's why Peter Jackson's a billionaire, because he sold his company that he owned. He owned Weta Digital and he owned Weta Workshop. He built up those companies and he sold it for like $600 million or something like that. I heard it was like a 700, $800 million deal. It was a huge deal. That's why Peter Jackson became a billionaire now. Obviously, he used to be worth like $400 million, and his net worth jumped to like $1.5 billion because he sold his company. Weta Digital Weta Workshop for a lot of money, like hundreds of millions of dollars. He sold it for. And now he's a billionaire. It's crazy, huh? Yeah, I remember Peter Jackson back in Lord of the Rings. He wasn't that rich. He was a nobody director. And once he did Lord of the Rings, he struck it rich. So when you see Peter Jackson in The Hobbit, I might buy the Blu-ray extended edition for The Hobbit next paycheck because I want to see the behind the scenes of The Hobbit. Whereas Lord of the Rings, I already saw all the behind the scenes of Lord of the Rings because I owned the DVD collection. Like 8 years ago, I owned the DVD collection of the extended edition DVD collection of Lord of the Rings. And I saw all the behind the scenes of Lord of the Rings, but I never saw the behind the scenes of The Hobbit except for what you get on YouTube. On YouTube, all you're gonna get is vlogs of Peter Jackson talking in a behind the scenes of The Hobbit. But if you want to see the behind the scenes of The Hobbit, you need to buy the extended edition, the special edition, either the 4K version or the Blu-ray version. I don't have a 4K Blu-ray player, so I'll just buy the Blu-ray version because I have my PlayStation. I can watch The Hobbit on my PlayStation, obviously. Because I enjoy the first two Hobbits a lot. I think they're pretty good movies, but the third movie I don't like. You see what I'm saying? The third movie is terrible. It wasn't good. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't that great, obviously. Hence why are you watching The Hobbit? Because I want to study Peter Jackson's directing style. Let's see if this man, and I watched The Hobbit, I'm like, yeah, he's perfect for saying this, man. Remember when you saw the Eagles? Remember when you saw the Eagles in The Hobbit? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, at the end, you saw that beautiful. Yeah, Peter would have a lot of good ideas for my Zane's movie, man. You know, I have so many ideas for the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? I have so many ideas for the Eagles, obviously. I have so many good ideas for the Eagles, your world-building era time, and I have a lot of good ideas. That's why Peter Jackson. But something tells me I might choose Mel over him too, though. You never know, man. But I'm kind of leaning a bit towards Peter Jackson now because Peter Jackson did Lord of the Rings. But man, Mel is also perfect for the movie too. They have to compete with that job, man. Sorry, Peter. I'm not gonna. I don't want to. I'm tempted to choose Peter, but I'm scared if I choose Peter, I might regret my decisions. There's nothing worse than me choosing Peter Jackson. You know what I'm saying? And what? And then I regret. I'm like, oh man, I should have chosen Mel Gibson instead of Peter. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I don't want to choose Mel Gibson because if I choose him, I might regret. Oh my god, I should have chose Peter. That's why I'm gonna have those two guys fight for the role because they're both really good for my movie. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna keep harping on this top, man. Do not let these Hollywood fucking sharks dupe you, man. Chris Hemsworth, Dwayne Johnson, Will Smith, you know what I'm saying? Natalie Portman, Angelina Jolie, whoever I hire, you know what I'm saying? Chris Pratt. Do not let these animals dupe you in Hollywood. They're all sharks and they all want a piece of that money, man. Especially guys like Will Smith and Keanu Reeves, Scarlett Johansson, those guys are greedy sharks, man. They might get angry. Keanu Reeves might get angry. Ivan, like, why is 0.3% such a big deal to you? Even if I make $150 million, Ivan, $160 million, who cares? Like, you're gonna make your tens of billions off. You're gonna make your 40, your $50 million off your movie, Ivan. Why do you care if I take home $150 million, like Keanu? If you think I'm gonna let you walk away with $150 of my money, you're fucking crazy. As you wouldn't even give me a piece of the royalties. Yeah, Ivan, you're right. I'd keep the whole 70%, yes. And I'm nice to give you a piece of the profits. This is my deal. If the movie does more than $110 billion, you get 0.2. You'll still make your 80, 90, $100 million in royalties. If the movie does $120, $130 million in sales, Keanu Reeves will still make his like 80, 85, $87 million in royalties. It's still a fat contract. You're still walking with like $7 million in your bank after taxes, $73 million in your bank after taxes. And the agent. The movie does 1.5 billion around, 150 billion around, though. You'll make your $100 million in royalties if you get 0.2, which you most likely will. You're probably looking at get $1.5 billion people buy my movie around there. Around there, right? Because you also have China and India. But India, only 10% of people in India speak English. So you're probably looking at maybe 50 million people in India buying my movie. And then China, maybe 300, 400 million people in China buying it around there. Because you have family, 300 million people in China buying it. That's, 1.4. Yeah, it adds up. Obviously. You see what I'm saying? And Scarlett Johansson, something tells me she's a greedy pig. Obviously, the fact that she took Disney to court, obviously, that's how you know Scarlett Johansson's a greedy pig, obviously. And Scarlett Johansson might get angry. Ivan, why is 0.1% just a big deal to you? Like, in Hollywood, how it works is the more money the movie makes, the more money we make, Ivan. I'm like, Scarlett, I'm not going to let you do it like that. I'm not going to let you walk away with like 80, 90, 70, $100 million of my money, man. If the movie does $150 million and you give Scarlett 0.1%, she's going to walk away with like 70 million and $80 million in royalties. That's too much. You're being too generous. Keep Scarlett Johansson and Affleck around that $30 to $50 million range in royalties. That way they don't dupe you, I'm saying? Look, Scarlett and Ben, I'm going to tell their agents, look, man, this is my final offer. If the movie does more, you get less. You get 0.07. I'm not going to let you do it like that, man. You're still going to make your 38, 40, $45 million in royalties. You guys are all going to walk away with your $40 million, about $40 million in your bank after taxes and the agent and the rates. You're $40 million richer. I gave you a good deal. You're not going to make this money in Hollywood. Accept my deal. Or what? Or you're more than welcome to work in Hollywood and make less money if you don't like my offer, obviously. You want to go back to Hollywood making your 20, your 15, your 12 million for your movie, obviously, and be a dirty slave and not experience my Scott's company like Gran Turismo and I'm saying, you're more than welcome to what? To work in Hollywood if you don't like my offer. I'm going to keep saying that. It's a deal. I'm saying, it's a deal. Even 0.07% is a lot of money. Yes, if my movie grosses more, if you get 0.07%, you're going to make the same amount of money pretty much. You're going to make your like $40, $45 million in royalties. Money, you don't make this money. Guys, I'm already paying you your rich salary and your rich bonuses. I'm giving you $1.5 million for the merch, obviously, and I'm giving you 0.07% of the movie grosses more, or 0.1% of the movie grosses less. You're going to make your like $40, $50 million in royalties. I gave you a good deal, guys. Money that you don't make in Hollywood. But Ivan, it's fine. I'm like, if you guys are greedy, if your agents get greedy and they get angry, I'm like, guys, you're not even worth my royalties. Like, I'm just nice enough to give you a piece of the pie because I'm generous, obviously. And I want these actors to destroy the role. You want these actors to work double harder for you, give them a piece of the royalties, that way they're invested in your movie. Ben Affleck and Scarlett Johansson are invested in your movie. You see what I'm saying? Hence why give them a piece of the what? Give them a piece of the royalties. The way Ben Affleck and Scarlett Johansson are invested in your movie. You see what I'm saying? They're sharing in you and VJ's wealth and success. They'll work harder for you. Hence why you give them a piece of the royalties. That way the actors work even harder for you, and they completely destroy the role. You're gonna see Ben Affleck destroying the role of the big boss. Keanu Reeves destroying the role as one of the bosses in the company. Scarlett Johansson destroying the role as one of the bosses in the company. Yeah, she's a badass fighter. Keanu Reeves is a badass fighter. Yeah. I'm going to hire the best stuntmen to train me, Ben Affleck, Scarlett Johansson, Paul Bettany, and all them, and Javier Bardem fighting moves. John Krasinski, Brie Larson. If it's not guaranteed I'm going to choose Brie Larson, but high chance I might choose her. She's good for that movie. I can picture her as a secret agent. They're all going to be doing training with me and VJ during the 3 months for the Grayscape movie. Obviously. Ivan, are you going to do your own stunts? Yes, I prefer to do my own stunts. The only stunts I will not do, like whenever like the super dangerous stunts, I will not do on my own. I'll have a stuntman do the stunt for me, obviously. But I want to do my own stunts like Keanu Reeves. I heard Keanu Reeves does his own stunts. I want to do my own stunts for the movie. That's cool. Keanu Reeves will tell me, Ivan, I want to do my own stunts for your movie, Ivan. Okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? But be careful. I don't want you guys getting injured. You see what I'm saying? Obviously, like Tom Cruise got injured for Mission Impossible 8, I believe. Is it 7 or 8? I forget.